Thanks for tuning in to the Hardheaded podcast. It's time to join the conversation. I'm Troy Trussell. I'm your host. Welcome to the Hardheaded podcast.
Who's our host today?
With me, as always, Mr. Chet Sears and Mr. Matt Amos. Today, we're going to hear a good word from Mr. Chet Sears. Then we're going to do a top three Westerns. I'm trying to get through it without laughing. We're going to do top three Westerns. And what's on your mind, Matt? Go.
Hold on. Unless you have something. You have something?
No.
I got a question for you guys on etiquette. Okay. So,
what kind of etiquette?
Is that because my intro?
Bathroom, no, bathroom etiquette.
Oh, okay.
Let's just dial up a scenario, and I'll be able to describe this with words, but I'm also drawing this out for those that are, you can't even see it if you're on video. You walk into a bathroom that is one.
He has drawn a square.
No, it's a rectangle.
Rectangle.
There's a Seinfeld episode about this.
All right. And you've got urinal, stall. And you know the last one's a handicap stall.
Yeah, nobody cares.
All right. If you walk into an empty bathroom,
because nobody does care,
and you need to use a stall,
okay,
what stall do you go to?
Me, I go to the one with my picture on it, the guy with the wheelchair.
Well, you're of no help to this conversation. What stall do you go to?
First off, if there's somebody in there.
No, empty bathroom.
Oh, empty. Okay.
But you know it's not going to remain empty.
Possibly.
Somebody's going to walk in.
Somebody could come in. I don't go to the handicap. I go to the one next to it.
You go as far down as socially acceptable.
Right.
Okay. I'm running into a scenario where the first stall is the one that's always utilized, which if you're going to a urinal, then you're almost touching feet and I don't get it. Like, why don't people go further down?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's really weird.
It's like, what's that movie with Alec Baldwin? He goes in and puts his arm around him when they're peeing at the urinals.
Meet the Parents.
Yeah, I think it's Meet the Parents.
I don't know. Mazel, good things. Yeah.
Anyway, I need some
my movie trivia and quotes are.
Yeah, you're
pretty on point. Yeah, because whenever you're feeling bad, you watch movies.
No, it wasn't. It was Along Came Polly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
The Philip Seymour Hoffman playing basketball.
Yep. Yeah, when he sharts.
Make it rain.
Raindrops.
I gotta go, man. I sharted.
Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
What is that? It's when you farted and a little came out. You sharted.
That was.
Oh, it's so sad that he passed away because he was a.
This is all bonus content. We hadn't even got to the what's on your mind, Matt.
Oh man,
oh, it's so good.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's been weighing on me because
Well, I mean, what's the solution? Like, what's your problem? Like, you don't know which stall to go to?
I know. I'm wondering, like, what am I missing? Because people are going to that first stall, and that's not cool.
What? I mean, why is it not cool? I guess.
Well, urinals are used more than stalls.
Okay.
Naturally.
Right. Yeah.
And so your two urinals are going to be, percentages of the time, there's always going to be somebody at a urinal. One of them.
Okay.
All right. So naturally you would want to go to the furthest one away from the stalls. You got a wall and then a urinal. You don't want to go to the urinal that has a stall and a urinal next to you. But so that leaves you're literally next to the stall that is occupied the most, which should be the stall that's occupied the least. And I don't want to stare at somebody's foot when I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh, I can't. I just freeze up until they leave.
That's not cool. You get stage fright.
I do, man.
Yeah.
If I can see feet under the stall here at the office,
I
just walk out and go up another floor. Hope nobody else is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just go to a different bathroom.
You're a shy pooper?
I can't poop with somebody around.
Oh, man.
It's weird.
That is weird.
I mean, I wish I could. It's just something that happens. Like, my body doesn't work.
Everybody poops. I believe that's a book.
It's true. Yes.
REM sang about it.
And I mean,
is everybody hurts?
Hurts. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I believe it's I believe the book is everybody poops.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I got us going down this.
Well, I mean, but if you so who cares if the person takes the first stall, and if it's an empty bathroom and you take the first stall, then technically now you own that.
No.
No. Listen, you own that restroom.
No.
And so anybody coming in after that and sees feet under the stall, they're weird if they're going to go up and pee next to the feet. Use the first stall, not the second stall that's close to the first urinal instead of the second urinal.
No. Maybe no.
I mean, I don't have to worry about that because I'm all the way down at the end and I still got empty bathroom. Everybody comes and pulls on the handicap door.
Because the commode height is optimal.
Yes. I don't know why every commode just isn't an ADA commode because they're taller.
I know. I don't know why that either.
But it should be low.
No,
No, it should be lower.
no.
The commode should be lower
For who?
to help the poop get out.
Most people don't have problems with their poops coming out, Troy.
The lower the commode, the better.
I don't even have to ask sometimes.
It comes out. I didn't even know.
Sorted.
All right, let's get back on track. I'm sorry. I should have never.
Foreign
brought
countries,
this
they
up.
poop in holes in the ground
That's because they have lack of toilets.
and they squat, and it's better health. They have better knees.
Where do people live longer, Troy? Where people squat in holes on the ground?
They have better knees. They have less knee surgeries over there.
That may not have anything to do with the way they poop. It may have something to do with what they eat
Doubtful.
and how much they carry.
And how much they actually walk.
Yeah. All right, what's on your mind?
Well, now it's poop. I mean,
No, we're not talking about poop. We'll just shut this
I-
thing down and start over.
I can do this for a whole episode because, I mean, like
I can't. Let's
All right, what's on your mind, man?
well, nervous poopers. Like, 'cause-
I got one for you. You're walking through. You're going to go through some double doors. That have they're not the sliding doors, right? You pull them open, but to be ADA compliant, they have the button where you could push the handicap
Yep.
button and it'll open the door. Do you push that button if you're not handicapped
Yeah.
and you're not carrying something?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to touch the handle.
But you want to touch the button?
I use my elbow.
I don't believe. No, you're wrong for that.
I could go either way on that, but I do know that it takes longer for the door to open for you, and then
Yeah.
it takes forever to close. And so,
And sometimes you just walk on through, and then somebody else is coming up, and the doors. You're wrong for that. Don't do that anymore, Troy.
Sure,
You
Chet.
gotta stop it.
look, and this just goes for the entire audience as a whole. If you're not disabled, don't push the button that has the picture of the guy with the wheelchair on it.
That's right.
Don't go to the stall with the guy with the wheelchair on it.
Don't
because
park in the parking spot.
I'm telling
with
you
the
right
guy.
now, there's a guy walking around that airport with 2 prosthetic legs that is in an emergent situation that needs to take care of some business. Goes in, and then there's somebody at the handicap stall, and then he's like, well, okay, now I got to go to this low toilet that's probably covered in pee. And
They
then-
don't have handles to
and
help
no
yourself
handle,
up.
no
Yeah.
handles to help me lower myself down. So then I've got to put my hand on the actual seat to sit down, and no, it's not good. So just stay out of that. I don't care if you're changing, change somewhere else. You don't need to change in there. Who's changing in an airport?
Who brought that up?
I've literally seen people changing in the stalls. Like you see, like they're
You're gonna get your stuff on the floor.
that's how
You can't take your shoes off in a public bathroom.
that's how I know they're changing.
Ah,
Is the clothes are on the floor.
you won't even touch a door handle. Are you gonna walk around barefoot in a public bathroom?
No, absolutely not.
That's how you get the meningitis.
That's you get a lot more than that.
Yeah. Herpes.
Yeah.
Those little suckers just jumped right on. Now I got the herpes.
But what's wrong with hitting the thing with the door? It's just a door.
That's not for you, man. That's not for you.
But what if that's the only door?
You're able-bodied.
But what if that's the
You're
only door?
able-bodied.
I can't just hit it?
No.
Because I don't want to get germs off the door
You're
handle.
getting germs. Look, don't be scared of germs. You're bigger than germs. Just open the door like a man. Don't do that. No.
Weak.
Yeah.
Soft.
That's the equivalent of parking in a handicap spot.
100.
No, I will never park in a
You're
handicap.
wearing that mechanism out faster than it should wear out.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you've opened that door, and now it's closing, and now the guy in the wheelchair out there in the rain's got to wait for it to close all the way before he can push the button again. Now he's just stuck out there getting wet. It's like, oh, I wonder.
There's never been a guy in a wheelchair.
Hey,
Because
I've hit that button.
Because you don't care,
when I've
because
hit
you
that
don't,
button.
you don't see them as people.
and they don't have to be in wheelchairs to use the handicap accessible door. Sometimes they may be cane. They may have a cane.
If a guy had a cane or was handicapped in any sort of fashion, I would hit the button for him and let him go through first.
Because they're not able to hit the buttons themselves?
So no.
Yeah, they can't get along without me helping them.
They're just differently abled, okay? Rude.
I don't even. How did we even get there?
I'll just keep being
I brought up
rude.
which stall do you pick, and Troy's like, "Hey, I'm going to take this opportunity to really crap on all these disabled." I don't know. What's on your mind, Matt? How are you doing?
I'm good.
I've been hearing you've been doing a lot of video gaming lately.
I have been doing a lot of video gaming lately. I finally broke down and I bought the PlayStation 5.
Are you in your 30s still?
I'm in my 40s.
You're in your 40s,
Yes.
and you're doing what?
And I got PlayStation 5 so I could play Call of Duty.
How'd you get a PS5?
I went to Walmart.
They had one in stock?
Yeah.
Really?
And it was the
Of course they're in stock. PlayStations suck.
PlayStation. I don't know. I grew up on it. I've had basically every gaming system, with the exception of the latest Xboxes. But the Xboxes that I've had have given me nothing but issues, and I've never had an issue with the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation.
Believe it or not, I've had every PlayStation up to the PS3. Didn't have the 4. Or maybe I did have the 4 once. I don't think so. I think just had the 3. And then, I've never had an Xbox. So
I have found over my years of probably PlayStation 2 is the most advanced one that I've played, but the controllers were made for people with small hands, and the Xbox controller fit in my hands a lot better.
And that may be the reason.
controller issue.
Controllers, the PlayStations I think are just made for women.
No, probably made for kids. But
I would go with kids over. But the new one, that looks a little bit bigger. Look at that.
yeah, it's a larger controller. But
Looks just like the Xbox controller.
but it's
It kind of looks like an Xbox. Wonder where they're getting their lead from.
who knows. But so
What got you back into video games?
Well, it came from my daughter. So she came in or my wife came in and goes, you need to go talk to your daughter. And I was like, wow, what's going on? She goes, well, she brought up, she wanted to play Call of Duty, and she was like, well, dad used to be really good at Call of Duty, and we have all those games. She's like, we do? What? And then so she came in and she told me that, and then I went and I said, Claire, I was like, you want to play Call of Duty? And she goes, yeah. And I said, did Mom tell you I used to be really, really good? And I like one of the top players in the nation. And she's like,
What?
top 100,000 in the nation.
no, top 15.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Bring receipts. Go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
So anyway, my daughter was like,
Fantasy.
so my daughter was like, yeah. I was like, and you realize that the Jeep I used to have was a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 edition Jeep. That's the Jeep that we had out there. And she goes, really? And I was like, yeah. I go, I was really big into Call of Duty. I go, I spent months in the hospital and played nonstop, like all day, every day. And I mean, that's how I got to that position, but, and she's like, oh, and I was like, I'll drag it out this weekend. I go, well, we'll play. So I brought out the PlayStation 3 and I brought out Modern Warfare 3 and I was like, I really don't play the missions on these. I just like to play online multiplayer. And she's like, what? And so I had to explain to her what multiplayer was. And so then I got the PlayStation out and got it hooked up and logged in and went to multiplayer. And then I was like, there's only 642 people online. And so I waited for 10, 15 minutes to try to find a match for me to join, and it just never did. And I was like, well, I guess we'll just play the campaign part of it, and then I guess that's just gonna have to do for now. And then I started doing research because I've been looking at maybe getting a PS5 anyway, just because I'd heard it was pretty awesome. And so I went and like that next weekend and bought it, and bought Modern Warfare 2, and got it home, hooked it up to the TV, and started playing. And I was like, man, this is really great, but I've been wanting a new TV for a while.
Here it goes.
Modern Warfare 2, I thought you said Modern Warfare 3 was way back when.
Yeah, but they did they re-released like Modern Warfare 2 with updates for PS5, PS4, and PS5. And so
hold on now. Let me tell you, this is how dads of daughters works. Like, hey, Dad, I want a new makeup set. I don't think we can spend the money on that. Hey, Dad, I want some roller skates. No, honey, I just don't know if it. Hey, Dad, I'd like to play video games. Well, honey, we're going to have to go buy a new PlayStation and a new TV.
Yeah.
Load up.
So
let's go.
In my defense, I did ask for a new TV or a new PlayStation 5 for Christmas, and I got neither one. So I had to take this upon myself to get my Christmas presents. And so,
Do you have FIFA 23 yet?
no, I don't. I've never been too big into the sports games other than golf on the system, and baseball sometimes, but
Yeah.
they get really, really involved in those. But so anyway, I went, and I'd been talking to a buddy of mine, Sam, because he's kind of like the tech guru. He's the guy that I go to for all my technological, like audio, video, anything technical, I go to him for. And because I was telling him, I was looking at getting one of these like QLED TVs, and they look pretty good, and they're fairly inexpensive, I guess, as far as the TVs go. And he goes, oh, no, you want an OLED. He goes, that's the way to go. He goes, the contrast, everything is just so much better. And so then I started looking at OLED TVs, and he goes, and I would recommend the LG or the Sony. And I've heard really good things about the Sony Bravia. He goes, I have an LG just because that's always what I've had. He goes, but I hear really good things about the Bravia. And so I was on Amazon and searching through it and doing all the research and looking at the specs and trying to figure out everything. And this was before PS5 was even a thought. And I went on an impulse buy and bought the PS5. And then that about 3-4 days later, I bought the TV because the one that I had everything hooked up to, the LEDs were kind of shot. I've had that one since the original Modern Warfare 3. That TV was 12 years old, and some of the colors were starting to fade. And I mean, I was doing, pretty good on that older TV. And then it was a 46-inch TV, and then I bumped up to a 55 on this one.
Yeah.
And once I got it plugged into 4K resolution and holy cow, I was like, there's going to be so many dead people on this thing.
It makes you a better gamer.
100%.
Yeah.
I didn't, it's so smooth. There's no jitter.
Lag.
There's nothing. And there is some lag because my internet sucks. And if I had like fiber, I don't think I'd be stoppable at all.
So really,
I really don't think if I had
like you're out there. How many matches have you lost? Have you won everything you've played?
Well, I'm on a team, so
who are your teammates?
They just randomly select your teammates based on whoever's logged in, and then they just kind of group you into teams.
Yeah.
And
what's your call sign?
JAMOS 0311.
JAMOS 0311. Can you play against people on Xboxes in this multiplayer?
I don't think you can. I know that if you're on a computer, I think you can, because on this new one, it comes up and it shows me who's connected to PlayStation. And then there's another one that shows me who's connected to a computer and if they're playing with a mouse and if they're with a PlayStation and a controller.
Well, if they're on a computer, they ought to be on. That's Microsoft, right? Yeah, they're on a
but maybe. I don't know how that works. I've only used PlayStation.
I may reach out to some young men that I know in college and see if I can't get them to put a hit on you.
I'd love it, because
I'm going to have you murdered online.
I'm telling you right now,
I'm going to put a hit out on him.
These new controllers, because I've never played with a headset just because I for me personally, I like to be aware of my surroundings, and I don't like to be completely just
Immersed.
into something. And but these new controllers actually have a microphone and a speaker in them. So you know, and I was like, what is this? And I mean, I don't know, it was a few days ago I was playing, and this new one's a little different because in order to level up weapons, you have to play basically with all of the weapons and then max all of them out. So that's what I'm doing now, which is causing me problems because I'm not as good with some as I am with others. But when I started getting like the weapon that I wanted and getting, you know, where I can run really fast and just sniping a kid, like, you know, not sniping him, but running through and just, you know, 5 times in a row and just hearing him, oh man, you know, just complaining. It gives me great joy. And
You can cross-play, by the way, according to this article.
oh, can you? Cool. Yeah. So that opens up a lot of,
Regardless of your platform, you'll be able to play with users on other systems or devices.
nice. Good. But so I've been, you know, I haven't had a chance to really play like a ton. But you know, I mean, I'm working my way up.
And that's Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they've got like these digital releases that they've done, like Warzone and Warzone 2. And what I would really like to do, because I see some of these tournament players and I don't know, I've never been involved in one, but I see these guys playing. I mean, they're incredible. And I mean, I used to be, you know, really, really good, and I'm still way better than average, but seeing some of those tournament guys play, it's just like, holy cow. But they're playing on a local area network and they're able to be faster than me.
You ever getting fiber out where you live?
They have fiber at the end of the road, and it's in the next year to 2 years that they're going to actually run it to the house, and then I'll have fiber, and then I will have no excuses.
That's right, because that's all I'm hearing right now is excuse after excuse. Should be number one, Matt.
Well, it's going to take me a while because the game came out in October, and I'm just now getting it. So,
yeah,
I think in the few days that I've played, I'm at 123 is my level and 250 is max.
I don't even know what all that means, but I'll tell you right now, me and you on a PC playing Doom, I'd whoop you.
You would be, and we talked about
I
that.
would whoop you so hard.
We talked about that because
Maybe a little Wolfenstein 3D.
Wolfenstein was awesome.
Yeah, I'll murder you on that too.
But I never could. I was never good at using the keyboard
Yeah.
and a mouse to try to maneuver a guy. And I don't even think the original Doom, did that even have a mouse? It was all keyboard, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did it all keyboard.
Yeah, because it was all the directional buttons
Yeah.
and then the space bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the only game that I've actually been good at on a PC was Fear. And I don't know what it was about that game. I had surround sound, or my buddy had surround sound on his computer. It was his game.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there for hours and play multiplayer on that because I just love multiplayer.
So I think what we need to do is you need to take me and Troy on your team, and we need to get like a professional squad together.
I think we should. And there's actually tournaments and prize money at these tournaments. And like I said, I sat there and watched this tournament play, and they had like this bracket and all these winners, and it's like this whole season that you're leading up to this, and then there's a tournament at the end, and watching some of these guys play and how they maneuver and work as a team. And I'm like, if I had a team, you know, of players that were as good as me or better, I don't see how it could be stopped because a lot of the tactics.
That's us right there.
Yeah.
Well, because
Sure, we're as good as you or
a
better.
lot of the tactics are
I
actually,
used to be really good.
Yeah.
but a lot of the tactics
You were big
I
into
see,
Halo.
No, it was because I didn't have Xbox, so I never played Halo. I was big into that.
I thought at the fraternity house you guys did like Halo tournaments.
No,
No?
we did James Bond tournaments.
GoldenEye?
Yeah, we did GoldenEye.
I'm sorry I
tournaments.
interrupted you, Matt.
You're
But
fine.
SOCOM was the war game I was real good at because that was the first game that came out to where you could actually put on a headset and talk to other people through the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like blew my mind that we
I
had
s-
technology to do this.
I still have that.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I stayed up. Man, I stayed up late all the time in my 20s playing that stupid game.
Yeah.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at now. But a lot of the team wise, a lot of the tactics that you can use, I mean, if you use military tactics, I mean, you can be successful, and just watching it and seeing it unfold, and it's like, dude, why don't you, if you just had my back, we'd be winning this stupid game, but you want to run around like a madman and do things on your own. You're going to get whacked on your own. You got to be in a group.
Yeah. What was that game that they just made a movie about with
Uncharted?
Uncharted, yeah. I got so good at that game.
That was a Matt Amos-esque answer.
Hey, that was good.
Right?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, you're like, what's something in modern entertainment? And I just knew it.
The movie wasn't that great, but the game was awesome when it first came out. And I got so good at that game. I think I've said this before on the show, but I wasn't going to kill anybody unless I got a headshot. And I did the whole game killing everybody in headshots.
Yeah.
See,
I got pretty good.
I'm still working up because there's some of these, and I think it's the lag in my internet.
It's totally not your skill.
No, because I looked it up because I was like, why does this happen? It's like they're like it could be computer lag. You're just
why am I piercing his ear instead of shooting him in the head?
No, because I typically try to aim center mass with a weapon that is technically supposed to be 2-shot deal, and I hit him 4 times and he doesn't go.
And the first time we downloaded Fortnite for the kids was
I've still never seen or played that game.
Was a Christmas ago, so a year and a half, right at a year ago. The first game I played with all the kids watching and everything, Stone was there. I got a battle royale. That's when you kill everyone and you're number one on top. I was like, man, this game's easy. But then my nephew was like, well, they look at your stats, and then they pair you with people that are about the same as you. And I was like, oh, well, that doesn't make me feel good anymore.
Yeah, this one is not like that, I don't think, because there have been some games that I've just been schwacked. Like every time I respawn, dead already. I'm like, what is going on?
Splat.
And then it's the real challenge to keep my language in check, because it's like, what the, oh, you got to be kidding me, and
yeah.
And then you got all these little kids that have, I don't know how they do it, but they've got these little lines primed up, and they play the audio, when they kill you, and
oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating.
Dude, you ought to do that, but have tune in to Hardheaded podcast.
Learn about Jesus.
I should. Yeah, that would be funny because that would be kind of guerrilla marketing. No, that would be fun. But that's what I've been up to, and I'm really amazed at how much more, or how much better I am on this new TV. Crazy.
I did hear a story one time. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, about I can't remember who it was. Somebody's son had to have been, but he was really good at video games, and he's a believer, and he used it as a ministry. He would go on, get to know people, and then through relationships he had with playing with people online that were in different parts of the country, he would then, once he got to know them, and
that's cool.
He'd introduce Jesus to him.
I'm glad I let you talk because I had nothing valuable to add to the conversation.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what, yeah. That stuck with me.
I'm glad there are people out there like that, because I definitely wasn't that person the other day.
No.
And this kid.
You died. It gives me joy.
So no, it wasn't even that. This was before the game even started. You're in the lobby waiting for the game to start, and
oh yeah,
there's these 2 kids chatting back and forth, and there was this one kid, and he was just, I don't know. He, in my head, I'm picturing 13, 14 years old, something like that, maybe younger, but he was like, yeah, I'm just not built for this world, blah 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 blah, and then this other kid was like, oh, no, you're built for this world. No, I'm just built to kill people on Call of Duty. And I was just like, oh, freaking just turn the mic off.
Oh, whatever, dude. You're like, hey man, you sound like you're gonna make it a good Marine.
Yeah, there you go. Marine
I guarantee you there are recruiters. I guarantee you there are recruiters on there already.
Yeah. He's got to be.
You guys ever thought, look at these cool uniforms these guys are wearing in Call of Duty? That's the Marpat uniform. You ought to get into that.
Let's meet up at the local strip mall next to the Great American Cookie Company.
You could do Call of Duty in real life.
So I was playing Fortnite with my kids a few weeks ago, and I'm really not that good at it because I just don't practice much. But I got cornered by another guy, and I didn't have any weapons, and I just started like, swatting at him because you can kill him by knife handing him or whatever. And it ended up killing this dude. And so my boys were like, man, Dad knife handed somebody and killed him. Like they thought I was the coolest just because and it was just a fluke, right? I was just like, and it killed this guy real quick. But man, dude, they put me on a pedestal. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool, Dad.
Dad's cool. Yeah, you're that guy running around with a knife, and I just can't figure out how to kill him, and he's got me. I'm like, golly, what is going on? But that's what I've been up to.
Fun stuff, man.
Wow.
All right, let's take a break. Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video. All right, we're back with the top 3 Westerns. We're going to start out with Chet.
Number 3, Blazing Saddles.
That's good. I was just talking to somebody the other day about that movie and about how if it was a new movie today, it wouldn't even get aired or played.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff in it.
Maybe. I think we're starting to see a pendulum swing back.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Well, I mean, there's nobody out there like Mel Brooks today, for sure, making movies, I don't think. But
Help me.
Anyway, you can't leave that out. I went a little bit different on some of mine just because I know I didn't want to have the same ones that you guys have.
I didn't put that one on my list because I knew one of y'all would have it.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
So
Number 2, Open Range.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall's
fantastic.
Kevin Costner.
I've only seen that movie once, so I can't really comment.
Can't watch it.
Why not?
It's a Western with Robert Duvall.
Well. you're taking that too far. That's just Lonesome Dove.
Can't do it.
You don't ever watch that movie, Matt.
I'm not.
I'm with you.
I'm not.
All right. Number 1, and I've got a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah, I do too. So
Tombstone.
Okay, save your honorables to the end.
Yeah. Tombstone. If I mean, just 9 chances out of 10, if you say, hey, let's watch a Western, any Western, I'll probably say Tombstone. Let's put that in.
Fantastic movie. Fantastic.
Incredible movie.
Okay, that's my 3.
Yeah. All right, I'll go next. Number 3, Cat Ballou.
I don't know that I've seen that one.
It's old.
It's old. Jane Fonda.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, because she doesn't have anything in the back of her Honda.
That's good.
Do you get that reference?
No.
What? You don't, Baby Got Back? That song?
Oh, the song?
Yeah.
I guess I was thinking another movie reference.
Playing workout tapes by
Started out with poop. Now we got
never mind.
Baby Got Back.
Keep moving.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. My dad doesn't like a lot of movies, but he likes some comedies. And he showed that to my sister and I one night when Mom was out of town or something. Mom wasn't there. We watched Cat Ballou, and like it was one of the, like, Tommy Boy and Cat Ballou are 2 of the movies that I've never heard my dad laugh that hard ever. So I love that movie just for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Number 2, I got Tombstone down as number 2. And then my number 1 is Unforgiven. Really just
That's a good one.
love the way that movie ends. How he just goes on a rampage and kind of goes back to his old ways and takes care of business. I love it. It's a good movie.
The precursor to the John Wicks and the Liam Neesons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt, what you got?
Well, number 3, I had Blazing Saddles.
No, it's awesome.
So
I knew it would be on both of y'all's lists.
in order to replace that one, Once Upon a Time in the West.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. That's a really old one.
No, it's maybe It's less than 10 years old.
Well, then it's a remake.
Well, yeah. So the Seth MacFarlane.
No, A Million Ways to Die.
A Million Ways to Die. I'm sorry. A Million Ways to Die. in the
Oh,
West.
okay. Yeah.
So Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, wrote this
I hadn't
movie.
seen it.
Oh, it is funny. It's slightly inappropriate
I'm sure.
in some parts, but it's
If McFarlane did it, it's inappropriate. Period.
but it's such a spoof on the West and how people died in the Western movies and all the bad things that can happen, and and here you've got this down and out sheep farmer, and it's funny.
It's clever. It's a new take on Westerns, really. I mean, or making fun of Westerns, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Blazing Saddle-esque.
Yeah.
Number 2, Rio Bravo with John Wayne. And I can't remember the guy's name in the movie, but he talks really fast with a high pitched voice, and he's kind of a shorter guy. Well, I guess we need to do it anyway. And it cracks me up every time because that's one that I can put on, like we talked about
listening
movies if you're sick. That's one that I can put on and listen to and just kind of follow along because I've seen it so many times. And John Wayne, I don't think there's really a bad John Wayne movie. I like pretty much all of them. As far as his Westerns go, I don't like his military movies as much, but his Westerns are really good. And then number 1, Tombstone.
Very good.
All right, honorable mentions.
The Cowboys. John Wayne takes a group of kids on a cattle drive. It's a really good movie.
North to Alaska with John Wayne.
Yeah.
Really good.
The Quick and the Dead. I like that one. It's Gene Hackman, Leo DiCaprio's real young. I think Sharon Stone's in that. It's good. A lot of 2-man draws in that movie.
Lonesome Dove. And for those that didn't listen to the episode that we talked about this, which was well over a year ago, Matt has seen Lonesome Dove 3 times. The first time Matt saw Lonesome Dove, his grandmother died. The great-grandmother died. The second time he saw Lonesome Dove, he got blown up by an IED. And the third time he watched Lonesome Dove, he got blown up by an IED a lot worse.
I can't chance it another time.
Matt said, I'm not watching Lonesome Dove anymore.
It's screw Robert Duvall in a Western. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's too, the cover of that is too Lonesome Dove-esque.
Yeah.
When you look at the cover, I was like, I can't do it.
Another honorable mention, Back to the Future 3.
I did see that one. Yeah. Not my favorite of the trilogy, but yeah, it is a Western. I also had down 3:10 to Yuma.
I almost
original or the remake?
I like the remake.
I don't think I ever saw the original, so I like the remake. But yeah, and looking some of these up, I read an article that said modern Westerns of today really bring in the modern day trials and tribulations that we have, and not necessarily focus on the ones that they had back in the Old West.
Like typhoid.
Yeah, whereas like
warring Indians.
Diphtheria.
Yeah. So,
Diphtheria.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if it would be technically classified a Western, but it's kind of Western-esque because you got cowboys that try to go to the city and rescue a girl. The Cowboy Way.
Oh, with Woody Harrelson,
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, that movie is funny.
I watched City Slickers with one of my daughters the other day.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's pretty good.
Been a while since I've seen
City
that, but those were good too. Yeah,
you can only take so much Billy Crystal. I mean, he's good, but you can only take so much.
What was the movie where he's a psychiatrist and Robert De Niro's the mafia guy?
I don't remember
anything. I was wanting to say Anger Management, but that's not it. That's Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but those two movies are super. I love those. Those are really funny.
All right, Chet, you got us a good word?
I do. Coming out of Acts chapter 2. breaking bread is the good word. This comes from the when the church began, like the beginnings of the Christian church, the origins. In Acts 2, verse 42, I'm going to read through verse 47, and it's kind of wanting to just get to verse 47. But it says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, and to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread together in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily to those who were being saved. Well, it's actually verse 46. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. And, you know, it just kind of makes me think, when was the last time you had somebody over for dinner? Now, you don't have to answer that. That's a rhetorical question. I don't want to put you guys on the spot. But we actually do this somewhat regularly at our house, and we love it. I mean, you just get a better opportunity to sit and visit and let the conversation go where the conversation goes when you're at a meal together, especially in your house, not going out to eat at a restaurant, because that's a scheduled. There's a time that things need to happen, right? You know, somebody's going to show up. Get your, what do you want to drink? Do you want any appetizers? What are you going to order?
You're going to get
interrupted. Then you need to go. Well, not just interrupted. It's like you eat and leave. That's what you do. And so if you're at each other's house, it's like, oh, let's relax. We'll hang out. We'll eat. We'll go sit in the living room and visit some more. And I think it's pretty interesting. We saw it there a couple times around eating, being together and eating at the church establishing itself. It's not the only thing that they did, but it's mentioned several times in when they were getting together. So I just think the value of getting together and eating, so breaking bread together. So my challenge would be, do it. Like, talk to your wife if you're married, or your husband, and say, hey, I want to have so-and-so over for dinner, and make it happen. See what happens from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the best conversations that you can have are with friends breaking bread at your house or their house. Yeah.
That was Ron's number one thing on every trip, or if we went over to visit
with Wounded Warrior Outdoors.
Yeah. So every trip with Wounded Warrior Outdoors, or if we just went to visit, as friends and went over to his house, or, wherever we're at, his big thing is always eating together. And he's like, well, everybody, I don't care where you're at, or if you're on an animal, whatever, this is what time dinner is, and everybody needs to be back so that we can have dinner together. And that's one of the things that I always appreciated about WWO and Ron, because he would sit at a table and like, where's Matt? And wait to eat until everybody is at the table, and then pray and eat, and so that was always very cool. That's cool. And we always sit around and then we retire, to his TV room, and then sit on the couches and watch the hunting channel and talk, and valuable time.
I think it is, and I think you can't overlook it, especially how frequently it comes up in Scripture. Even some of your vacation Bible school stories that you'll know, Zacchaeus. What come down from the tree, because we're going to go to your house and eat. Like, we're gonna go hang out. Yeah, so I think it's extremely valuable and would be very positive.
Well, and even in Jewish culture, the Shabbat, and they get together and eat, and
big deal. And it's something that we don't do that much of these days. So
it's hard.
Well, you eat every day. Just have somebody come over, do that.
Some people eat every day. Some people eat every day.
Some people only have a hot dog and some potato soup,
and that one of their coworkers made for them.
Yeah, but I will give a tip though. If you're planning on eating with a friend, and you're like, hey, we're just going to meet up at this place. Why don't you order some pizza? I'll buy. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need to order whatever you're paying for.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're going to get stuck for paying with $46 for 2 pizzas. Hypothetically speaking, that may. Ooh, did that hit you in the face?
Well, it came close.
Probably.
I see you're trying to get retribution.
Yeah.
Hey, I paid $20 of that 46.
I appreciate that. Hey,
You're welcome.
Look at that. Look.
Yeah.
Hey, I ordered.
Hey, no. No. I'd rather.
I saw that. I was like, Chet's paying.
Yep, that's exactly why you don't do that.
I couldn't find the coupons, Chet.
Okay, well, I don't even.
I looked. I could not find the coupons.
Lesson learned.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.